What's up guys, this is Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I want to do a quick video showing you guys how to set up a Plex server on Ubuntu 18.4. So in case you don't know what it is, Plex is basically a piece of software you can install on Windows, Linux, and Mac in order to stream all your media content. It's pretty simple to set up. It allows you to stream all your movie files, music files, and all that stuff to anywhere in the world, as long as you have an internet connection. And it has a pretty clean look. I want to go to the website so you can see what it looks like. And as you can see, Plex, you can stream your media basically. So if you have like a collection of movies, music, all that stuff, you can stream it using the app once you set it up on your server. And they have apps made for, Apple, Android, Roku. They got an app for your phone so you can stream all that stuff, but you have to pay for what they call a Plex Plus account. But the free account is pretty much all you need in order to stream everything. Like from your computer, it's just when you get into streaming from your phone and different devices, they want you to get the Plex Pass. That's what it's called, Plex Pass. So the purpose of this video is for me to walk you through installing this on Ubuntu 18.4. So let's get started on it. So basically, the only prerequisites you need for setting this server up is you just need to have a user with sudo access. It's a straightforward install. I have all the commands stored in the notepad, so I'm gonna just copy and paste and walk you through it. So the first thing you need to do is add the GPG key. Now the GPG key is basically a signed key that you install on your server in order for you to connect to the repository where the files are located. And what we're going to do is add that repository to our installation so it checks for updates as well as new versions of the application. So, and this is basically curl, and then this is the link to the actual key. And then we're piping it after it downloads the key, and do sudo add app key and add it to our system. So just pressing on that, and it's gonna ask you for your password. Well, anytime you run in sudo commands, you have to type in the password. So next thing you want to do is add the Plex repository to your sources list on your system. How you do that is by running this command. It's pretty simple. It's gonna echo the actual repository location, and it's gonna write it to your sources list. You press enter, and that's now added to our repository list. So once that's added, you'll see a difference when you run the sudo app update. So let's go sudo app update, press enter, and you'll see the difference. Let me wait till I finish before I start highlighting, but you should be able to see plex.tv. There we go. Under the get 5, get 2, it's checking that repository. Alright, so now that the repositories are refreshed, you can actually install it directly. So you can go sudo apt install Plex Media Server and press enter. And this is pretty much it. Once it does the installation of Plex, then the next thing is just setting up your account. and it shouldn't take that long, but I'll speed this up and be back in a second. So this is one thing I wanted to show you guys that will pop up during the installation. It will ask you if it wants to replace this configuration file, and I would click yes because it will install the package maintainer's version. Now if you made changes to the original, you might want to keep it, but according to this, it's just replacing that plex server.list file, which we downloaded, installed onto the system before we actually did the installation. So it doesn't matter if it's updated. We haven't got to the point where we made any changes to it yet. So yes, just put Y and press enter. So since that's done, now we can check to make sure our installation was done successfully. So basically all you have to do is run sudo system ctl status, and then we could do Plex Media Server, that service, and just press enter on it, and this will let us know if the service is actually running. And it looks like everything is running fine. It says active, running. Okay, so now that we've tested to make sure Plex was running, there's one other thing you need to do, and this is only if you have the firewall active. You want to make sure that you have the ports open for it. And you can check the status of your firewall by simply typing sudo ufw, which I'm assuming you're using. Most people use UFW. It's basically a application that kind of sits on top of IP tables, which is the actual firewall. Well, UFW, it basically gives you a easier way to manage IP tables, because some of the commands in IP tables is a little difficult to figure out or type in, but UFW is pretty simple to figure out. So you could type sudo UFW status, and as you can see, I already have some ports open, and that's letting me know that it's also active. So I will have to open ports for Plex. And just to make this thing a little bit simpler, this video a little simpler and quicker, I'm just going to open the port that Plex uses, and that port locally is 32400. So we can go sudo ufw allow, and this will allow all connections to that port. So it's 32400, and you can just press enter on that, and it'll add that rule. And we can check the status again on UFW, and as you can see, that port is open now, and it allows TCP and UDP traffic to go through that port. So we are good to go. So let's clear this out. So before we get into configuring the rest of the server, the first thing you want to do is create some directories where you're going to store your media files, and it's all dependent on where you're going to store it. If you're going to store your media files on the same partition, then the ideal location is basically under the ops directory, and I'll basically show you how to set up those directories. You basically go sudo make dir -p and / your op, and then Plex Media, and then within this folder we can create multiple folders. So I want to just create the movies folder, and then I'll create a different one after this. But basically what the P does, just so you know, the only directory that's here is the op directory. That's already there, but the Plex Media folder is not there, as well as the movies folder is not there. And basically what the P does, it will create this folder and then create the folder underneath it, because when you don't have the P option, it'll say, oh, I can't find the Plex Media directory to put the movies directory in. So this will basically follow the format you want by creating the child folder underneath the parent folder. So press enter on that, and that'll create those directories for us. So now the next thing you want to do is change the ownership of that directory. That way the actual server can write to that directory. And the reason it needs to do that, so you can actually go into the application and delete some of the movies or rename the movies in order to correct itself. So let's start off by doing sudo ch own dash capital R plex colon, and then you want to specify the directory, and we're going to just do the opt and plex media folder, and we can press enter on that, and that'll change the ownership. So Plex is the owner of that directory, and we could check by doing a ls dash la and then the ops folder, and we can press enter on that, and as you can see, Plex is the owner now of the Plex Media directory. Okay, so now that we got that done, the next thing we can do now is go on and go in and configure the server. It creates a website, so you basically go your IP address, whatever the IP address of that server is, and for instance mine is 192.168.10.129, and then you want to put the port, which is that 32400, and then /web, and press enter, and that'll take us to the Plex setup page, and this is all on our server. So first thing it's gonna do is ask you to create a create a account, a Plex account. So it doesn't matter if you have a server or if you're using somebody else's Plex server, you have to have an account. So you can set it up using, Google or your Facebook account, or you can set it up using your email. I always like to use the email, especially when it comes to stuff like this. So I already have an email that I pretty much use for this type of crap. So yeah, sorry, I had to figure out what my password is, but yeah, once you do that and log in or create your account, it's basically gonna bring up this page where it's asking you showing you how Plex works. It says Plex Media Server runs on your computer where you keep your media, and it also scans your media, automatically organize it, and make it beautiful. And you can play your media on any screen with your favorite Plex app. So like I said, you can play it on your TV, your phone, tablet, TV. Well, yeah, your computer screen, right here. And your TV as well. Like I have this set up on my TV where I can connect to the same account, and I can see all the stuff on my server. So anyway, just click got it. Right here, it's gonna offer you the Plex Pass, which is you can sign up for it. It's $4.99 a month. It's just certain things you could do that you can't do on a free account. That's all it is. If you want to sign up for it, it's totally worth it. If you get the lifetime deal, you only have to pay for it once and you're good to go. But they put like extra stuff in there, like you can sync things with your mobile device, live TV, trailers, camera uploads. You can upload stuff, and photo tagging and some extra stuff. There's some more stuff in here. If you're interested, just check it out. But basically you can just cut it off, and it basically pulls the host name from your server. Like this server name is Ghost, so you can set it up where you want to allow access outside of your home. And this is something that you have to really work out, because you have to open up ports on your router and all that stuff. I'm not going to go through that. I mean, it's just something, if you're a techie like me, you probably know how to open up ports on your server or on your router so you can access stuff from outside of it, outside of your network. But anyway, you don't have to worry about a URL or anything. Once you sign into your account, no matter where you are, it'll bring up that server under your account. So anyway, I'll hit next there. And the next step is going to ask you for your media location, basically. So you just hit add library. You tell it what type of stuff it is. It's movies, TV shows, music, because they'll organize it based on whatever you select. So we're going to select movies, and then you can name it movies, you can name it whatever. And the language, hit next. And what you do at this point, it allows you to browse your system directory. So we can go into here, which is the root directory. And then we can go to, we know it's under opt, and then the Plex media folder, and then the movies directory. That's where our movies are stored, or our imaginary movies are stored. And just press add. It'll add that directory. You just hit add to library, and then you're good to go. And if you have other directories, you can go in and add them there, and just hit next. So this right here will just tell you to get the app if you need it, and I don't need it for this demonstration, so we just hit done. Okay, so this is basically the dashboard. Once you log in, this allows you to see the servers that you have available. Like a couple of my friends have servers, and this is the actual real server right here. Well, my real server that I use locally. And just to show you a demonstration of, you know, the type of stuff you can have on there. So if you got a bunch of movies, you know, and in a directory, they'll show up here. They'll automatically download certain stuff. You can see who's storing in the movie, you know, all that type of stuff, and related movies. But I'm not gonna show you too much of that, but that's pretty much the gist of it. And then I got TV shows, bam, stuff that I like to watch. But anyway, once you like I said, once you add the server to your account, then it'll show up no matter where you are when you log in. So let's go back. The next thing I want to do, when you have the server selected that you're working with, first thing you gonna want to do, because you're not gonna have any movies or anything yet, the first thing you want to do is go into your settings and go to your library. I believe this is the, nope, sorry, you can go down here to your library, manage libraries, I'm sorry, and then you don't want to click on it, sorry, but you can scan library for files. This will force the server to go through and check for new files. So when you add them there, it'll check for it, then it'll download the metadata for the actual movie or whatever it is, and then once it's done, at that point, then you can go back to your home page and you'll see that movie or whatever show up. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. And also, I know I copied and pasted a lot of the code or the commands, so I'll post them in the description of the video below. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know how you felt about the video. And of course, keep it techie.